This all starts in 3, 2, 1.
All right, where the hell have you been? In and out, up and down, never home. It's a mess. You're a mess. But it's so romantic when you're young, so poetic. My father would have taken a belt to me.
Helen has a habit plan, and it includes a healthy breakfast and a pleasant word with her parents.
The morning stream. The morning stream. The morning stream. The morning stream. The morning stream.
Many Bothans died to bring you this information. This is the Morning Stream.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to a Monday edition of TMS. It is April 13th, 2020. I'm Scott Johnson. That guy is Barnabas.
Hello! Happy Monday to you, or as it feels like now, another day.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time.
Just another day.
Having a hard time telling them apart, honestly. It's sort of just all bleeding together here a little bit. We hope you guys are well out there. We braved another trip to the store over the weekend.
Oh, how'd that go?
Well, we were out of the fresh produce, see, and that's important for a good balanced diet. So we thought,
Totally
let's head out there to the Smiths. And we decided we'd do it on Easter because we figured it'd be less crowded, right? Like, go Easter morning, people are home with their kids, doing their makeshift Easter businesses for the morning. And we thought we could go sneak one in. And the problem that we ran into was we forgot how many places close on Easter. So the three immediately around us grocery stores all closed for Easter. Costco closed for Easter. The only one open was this one called Smith's. It was open, but because it's the only one open, it's where everybody went that were thinking like us. They all thought like we did and went there. Mm-hmm. So it was a little busier, a little more people than you'd like. You're trying to keep your distance.
Quick, we need chocolate bunnies and eggs we can decorate.
I mean, there was actually some of that. I saw some people shopping that way. But I just have some data to share. This is very sort of low level, not really a good wide test sort of data. But I'm going to give you the data I found. Okay?
Please, give me the data.
Masks. They've had an uptick in recommended usage from various sources. And so people are now, they went from, I don't need a mask, they don't do anything anyway, to, maybe we should just wear a mask. So I wanted to do a little bit of a head count, and I got there, and I noticed that about 50% of the people in the store were wearing masks. That includes employees.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say the employees were a higher percentage, though? Or would you say that even of the employees is still about 50%?
It looked about 50 with the employees, even because the employees didn't all have them. It was split for sure. Yeah.
I would think that that would be a company, like they would make it some sort of policy at the store to say, we're going to do this because, it helps a little bit. Maybe it doesn't prevent everything, but at least it shows that we care as a company, and so everybody wear a mask.
Exactly. I would have thought that too. However, what was I going to say? Oh, the 100% of those employees are wearing gloves. The glove part, though, throws me a little bit because depending on how you use them, they're more than useless. Because so let's say you're out there with your gloves and you handled a bunch of carrots. And let's say that those carrots had COVID-19 on the carrots. Okay, just saying. So then
some beta COVID carotene.
Yeah, there you go. Carrot 19 is what you got going there.
Yes.
So they're manhandling those with the gloves.
Sure.
Then the minute they go do anything else with those gloves, just like hands, they've moved it to something else. The gloves didn't protect you from moving it. It just facilitated you moving it as if it was your own hand. So you either have to change gloves after everything you touch, or the more simple thing is to handle the carrots, go wash your hands, handle the next thing, go wash your hands.
Yeah,
Instead, you're just going to run out of gloves.
That would be the only way to do it, right? Exactly.
Right.
You need some sort of thing in between, either a changing of the gloves, which would be silly, or a washing of the hands between each thing.
Exactly.
The one time I went into a store since this whole thing started, I did the Michael Jackson thing. One hand in my pocket and the other, I guess it's more of the Alanis Morissette Michael Jackson thing.
Oh, I was hoping that meant you grabbed your crotch and went, woohoo, when you walked in.
That's right. Well, one glove and then just the other hand in my pocket. And that way, like, if I'm touching stuff in the store that other people probably touched,
Yeah.
then I'm using the gloved hand. When I'm dealing with my wallet, I'm pulling it out, basically pulling my card out of my wallet with that same hand, and probably under my elbow. I can't remember how I did it. I think the card I use is removable via thumb, and then put that in the machine. That way, the only thing I'm touching with the ungloved hand is the stuff that I brought with me.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. No, that makes sense, because then you leave with what you came with.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
I may have spread, I may have taken the COVID off of the carrots and moved it over to the Frosted Flakes or over to the Coffee Mate or whatever, but yeah.
Well, the good news is it only lives on cardboard for like 6 hours. Yeah, 6 hours to a day.
Max.
Yeah.
Right.
But on the plastic, you're a little more hosed.
Saturday, I did a 24-mile bike ride, and kind of the same thing. I was looking to see way more. I mean, we talked about this last week when I went on a bike ride, and it seemed like 1/10 of the people out there were wearing masks. The bike ride I did Saturday, it was I would say it's a good 60 to 70% of people on the ride were wearing masks. And the last stretch, it's funny because as you get further west, you get to the more the really nice houses that Tina and I don't live in, but we live amongst the really nice,
Sure.
From where I'm standing, I can look and see all the nice houses around me. But
we had that exact thing, by the way. There's like a $3 million house right across the road on the lake right there that is out of reach for any common people, and yet here we are staring at it. It's annoying.
But it was funny.
Anyway.
It was it came down that last stretch going west. Fewer and fewer masks. So rich people, I don't think we need to wear a mask, Muffy. I think it's it makes it harder for people to understand me when I'm talking.
Right. It already is hard with the rich to hear and understand what those rich Mr. Howells are saying.
But east, boy, the more masks, way more masks, and then as you get west, it's sorry, not wearing one.
You have never been more prepared for a thing that's probably going to get canceled. I'm so impressed with how prepared you are for this thing. You're going 24 miles this time. You're going to be doing 50 before you know it.
Well, here's the deal. If the outdoor event gets canceled, personally, I'm of the belief that it won't get canceled. I think that number one, it's late enough in June that it probably won't. Also, but they probably will have.
Oh, I thought it was May. Why did I think it was May?
No, it's going to be at the end of June.
Oh, then yeah, you might be all right.
They will probably institute some sort of thing at the stops where instead of just going into the stops and everybody kind of clustering around, there'll probably be a path that goes through the stop.
Yeah. And
you'll go refill your water bottle, get your Gatorade, get your Scratch, eat a couple vanilla wafers with peanut butter and a banana on top. Those are the best. Grab an apple slice or whatever, and then back on your bike, or probably walking your bike all the way through this whole thing.
Oh yeah, like a little pit stop style thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm curious as to if that's the way to do it. Now, if they cancel the whole event, which is a possibility, then it just goes virtual, and I do 75 miles on the indoor bike on Saturday, 75 miles on the indoor bike on Sunday. And if that's the case,
I didn't know that.
Might do the whole thing, might stream the whole damn thing. I don't know.
You should stream it. If you're going to do it, you should totally stream it, dude.
Yeah. It means I'm not doing the Oculus Go and playing Winter Stand for 6 hours a day, but we'll see. We'll figure it out.
You can stop every once in a while, and your wife can just throw a freaking Nilla wafer at you while you're
exactly. That's exactly right. I'll just stop the fan blowing in my face like I'm not going anymore, and we have a new. Are you noticing that we have a new?
Freaking Free Hotel Room's got all the comic ideas this morning. Give me some more Fred and Can advice. Good job there, bud. Keep those coming. I'm sure one will get used. One of those will get used sometime.
Thanks,
anyway,
Hi, Bob.
Regardless, I think it's cool that you're killing it on there. That's great.
Yeah, and you know what? It's good that I'm doing that too, for the reason that the stupid sourdough starter, not only is it like having another child in the house, but it's it's carbs,
sure.
Right? Everything we make from that is carbs.
Sourdough's so much better for you though than
it is, right? It's the good, it's good gut bacteria too.
Yeah, it's very good.
But here's the thing. So we made a couple loaves of sourdough bread on Saturday. And this is the thing where I take the sourdough starter, mix it in with some flour, some water, some salt,
Yep.
knead it, then let it sit for a while, punch it down, knead it, let it sit for a while, punch it down, blah, blah, blah. We made one loaf in a loaf pan, and then we made a boule, B-O-U-L-E, which is just like a ball of sourdough just on a cookie sheet.
Sure.
Because I have my Dutch oven now, but it arrived after we made the
Sure.
boule.
Sure.
So next time it'll be a Dutch oven.
Right.
They came out okay. They
Yeah.
didn't rise as much as I wanted them to, so they're a little dense. But here's the other thing. So yesterday, clearing out feeding the sourdough starter,
Mhm.
and you're left over with you've got about a cup of starter that you basically dump down the drain, unless you want to find a way to use it.
Yeah.
Yesterday I decided, let's make some biscuits with that because I found a biscuit recipe.
Oh.
Holy crap. These biscuits came out awesome. Like, of all the things we've made with the sourdough starter, we've really only made 3 things with the sourdough starter. This is the best thing
You
that we've made with the
floated
sourdough
some quality biscuits out of that starter. That's awesome.
starter. Floated some quality biscuits.
I'm jealous of that.
That-
These biscuits sound
yeah.
great. Oh my gosh. They sound good.
They are awesome, and they puffed up like those came out perfect. And so made them early enough that we made egg biscuit, like McDonald's egg biscuit sandwiches for dinner last night. That was our,
That sounds so
that was our
good.
dinner. That was great.
We
So
had
good.
we had roast chicken, and Kim made like a pretty nice little Easter spread for the two of us. It was very nice.
Very cool.
So, all right, well there you go. I did have this to say. What was I going to say about the masks? Oh, nobody. Most of the patrons didn't have gloves on, so maybe they all know that that's dumb. There were not dumb, but complicated. It's just a more complicated thing. What you do is don't touch your face, keep your hands away from your head, do all the handy stuff you got to do. Get home and wash the hell out of your hands and wipe down your steering wheel, and you're good.
Right, of course. Yep.
We got a great question here from Rob. He might go by Bob or maybe Robert.
Could be.
Or Bobbert. Anyway, he says this. Is there any event you two, if there, is there any event, I had it right the first time, you had to leave because you were ill and have regretted it ever since? My wife and me were in New York from the UK on holiday, a vacation, he wrote in parentheses in case we didn't know what that meant, to see a play on Broadway with Christopher Walken and Sam Rockwell, but we had to leave halfway through due to a sickness bug. I've never known how it ends. The answer is yes, and the reason I'm putting this on here today is because it has to do with Brian. I got really sick.
I know which event this is.
I got really sick in Las Vegas in 2008 and was supposed to be going that night to Brian's Coverville 500 concert with all my podcast buddies, and I was so sick I couldn't go. I didn't go, and I regret it. I hate it.
So bummed about that,
Yeah.
right? Because it was like, oh my God, Scott's gonna make it. And this was early on. This would have been the first time you and I met in person, right? Because it was before
In person,
the
yes.
first spectacular that I came to.
Yep, and we did technically meet earlier at like the Las Vegas Hilton or somewhere. We bumped into each
did we
other
at one
and
of
talked.
the at one of the podcast expos?
Yeah, you were like, well, no, it was in Vegas. You were at a bar, and it was just earlier that day.
Really?
Before I felt like crap. Maybe you were
Right,
drunk.
yes.
I don't know.
No, that's right. That was right. Same year, but it was before that. But probably Cork's Bar or something.
Yeah,
right?
it was like that. We were hanging around there. I was
Yeah.
meeting Veronica over there, and I think Len. I just missed Len by like a half a second. Wait, was he there that year? Maybe I'm thinking of something else with Len. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point.
He definitely was there that year.
Was he there? Okay, because he and
yeah,
I just
'cause-
missed each other. Like he showed up like 10 minutes after I left, and then that night I was so sick it was like I can't go to this thing. And
Yeah, it wasn't not even. Could you not make it to the 500? You left Vegas.
yeah,
early.
I got out of there. The next morning I left very early.
That's right.
Because I felt
yeah.
so shitty, and we ended up staying in. But part of the problem was we were in the worst Flamingo hotel room ever. It was so gross in
Yeah.
there, dude. Oh my gosh. I don't know if they've redone all that now or whatever, but it was so bad in 2008. So I left there. We went to St. George. It's only a 45-minute drive back to St. George. And got a nice little hotel there and just sort of convalesced for a day.
Wow.
And then
I've never in all the years I've been going to Vegas, I don't think I've ever stayed at the Flamingo. The
It's-
only time, I've been in the Flamingo a bunch of times. There's really not, aside from the zoo in the back, which is a lot lamer than it used to be. Like they used to have penguins and stuff, and now they've just got flamingos and koi fish and
Osmonds. They got a few Osmonds there,
and a couple. They have a couple Osmonds.
Yeah. They won't mate if too many people are watching. They're kind of like pandas. They just will.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Got to be careful.
But I've never actually stayed there. The only other memory I have of the flamingo is I think I might have told this story on the show before, but I'll tell it really, really quickly.
Okay.
My grandparents took me out there when I was 13 or 14, out to Vegas. They lived in California. We hopped in the car and did a whole trip. Actually, no, we flew out there, did a whole trip where we did a plane ride through the Grand Canyon, a little prop plane through the Grand Canyon, and then went to Vegas for a couple days. Stayed at.
That's cool.
We stayed at the Stardust, but rest in peace.
Which is now real dust, by the way. It's dust.
It is real dust.
Yeah,
it's dust, and then they basically would take me to Circus, give me a handful of quarters, drop me off in the arcade while they went to level 2 and did slots or whatever. But we all got back, together for lunch and for dinner. I had a blast. I had no complaints about my grandparents doing that. Probably turned me into who I am now. But then we'd get together at night and do a dinner and then a show. My grandfather said, I've arranged, you're going to love this, Brian. We're going to see Bill Cosby and Doug Henning at the Hilton, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. So we go in and into the Flamingo. We go to the showroom. The house lights go down. The stage lights come up. And a bunch of topless women start kicking their feet up and dancing left and right, arm in arm with the big old feathery headdresses. And I look over and my grandmother is glaring at my grandfather. It's one of the only things, one of the only things I remember the boobs, but I also remember my grandmother glaring at my grandfather.
Yeah.
And him flagging down a waiter or something and saying, now, this is Bill Cosby and Doug Henning? And the guy says, nope, they're at the regular Hilton. You're at the Flamingo Hilton.
Oh no!
Back then, this was before Westgate.
Yeah, this is when Hilton just had. Yeah.
There was the Hilton, and then there was the Flamingo Hilton. And,
crap! That's really fun. That's basically kind of missing a show then, right there. Is what this answers the email.
I didn't miss anything, Scott. I figure.
And that also helped him become the man he is today.
Exactly. Like, would it? Would it be fun for me to have a story where I said, I saw Bill Cosby when I was 13? Yeah, but is it better to say I saw unexpected boobs when I was 13? That's certain. I think it had to be younger than 13 because it was shocking.
I bet it was. Yeah. If you're
whatever age I was, I'm sure
10 or 11. Probably scarred
I could
you.
probably do a search and find out when Doug Henning and Bill Cosby performed together at the Las Vegas Hilton and figure out how old I was at that time.
Would have been around, he would have probably been he was drugging the ladies then. That's what he was doing with Bill Cosby. It turns out.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was before Theo.
It's before everybody thought I was America's dad.
You got to put the Jello pudding pops in the refrigerator and put the little roofies in the little tips of the pudding pops and then soak them in the Coca-Cola.
I mean, look, it's hardly a laughing matter what he did, but it's still funny to kind of do
we're
that.
far enough away from it.
Are we?
We're laughing at the fact that it's Bill Cosby. We're not laughing at the victims that suffered through that business, because that's horrible.
Right, and also Roofie and a Pudding Pop is a great title, by the way. It's very good. All right. Well, there's that. Thanks, Rob, for that. It's a great question. We also got one here from Aaron who says, Anon, because he's anonymous. He says this: how come Scott always gets a mulligan when he loses on the first round? I don't think that's true. It's not true.
It isn't true, no. It would happen, if either of them give a wrong answer on the very first round, I do a mulligan because I want to keep the show, I want to keep the game going.
Yeah, and it isn't just me.
Brian's
done
the one where we did end it right after the first one, and it was really funny when we did that.
Yeah.
But
Dunaway's done it. It's not just me. We've all had our mulligans after first round. So
there it is right there. Yes, in 1980, Hilton showcased Bill Cosby, Doug Henning, Bill Cosby's sister Sledge, Johnny. Yes, that was at 1980 would have been. So I would have been 11. 10 or 11. I would have turned 11 on
11 is early to get the boob show. Man.
It really is. I turned 11 on that. Physically, I turned 11, but I turned into a man.
Yeah, that was the day you turned into a man. Puberty came rushing in.
That's right.
All right. Well, that would have been So
that's what those look like.
Hold on. 80. That would have been. Wasn't this when they were making their big family push? So you could Circus was a thing, and all that. Or am I thinking of?
Sure.
Okay.
No, I mean that was. There were a couple of different pushes by Las Vegas in order to attract families, and 80 probably was a big one. They tried one again in the mid 90s with Mandalay Bay and the aquarium and stuff like that. There was what was the name of there was a great water park on the Strip.
Oh yeah, what was that called?
Wet and Wild or something like that.
Something like that. We went to that. I did that when I was younger. It was awesome. That was great.
That was great. Yeah, that was such a.
We should do
that. Was such
again.
a great water park right on the Strip. Wet and Wild, Mikey BC says, yeah, and they had their Der Struka, which was you stand in a bomb.
Yeah.
Right, and it's over the top of a really steep slide.
Yeah.
And the operator says, put your hands like this, and then he hits a button and the bottom opens up and you just drop onto the slide. And
I love a good Der Struka.
Der Struka.
Yeah, always order that for my appetizer. It's very good.
Right.
All right, we're gonna get Dunaway up in it. We're gonna have a little contest here. In fact, it's so Johnny on the spot today. We already have a caller waiting, so don't go anywhere, caller. Nobody can hear you yet, but don't leave. Hold on a second. All right, we're gonna add Dunaway to this call. We're gonna have a little bit of fun, and we're gonna see if we can't get some prizes out there and have mulligans on the first round. Stay tuned and find out after I play this music. Whoops, here it is. Oh, that's right. We're going to play Battle Royale here on a Monday. We do it on Mondays and Wednesdays with our good friend, Mr. Brian Dunaway, who joins us all the way from South Carolina. Brian, welcome to the show.
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hi, Brian.
Is it Monday already?
It's Monday.
I was up
think
late.
so.
Yeah.
I was up late last night trying to finish up my Easter event in Animal Crossing, and
Yeah. Dude, can we say, isn't it great that
I'm so tired.
It's great that the world's second worst pandemic is over now. The bunny is gone.
Exactly.
If I catch one more egg when I'm trying to a fishing tournament
Yeah.
during egg hunting season,
Yes.
Here's what they need to do. It's an easy way to fix this. When this rolls around next year, and by the way, they've been very patchy, which is unusual for Nintendo.
Yeah.
They've been listening to the community and doing stuff, and they need to for a game like this where it's got these kind of events. They made the drop rate way less a bunch of days ago so that people weren't fishing out eggs all the time. And then yesterday they amped it back up again because it's the day itself, and that makes sense. I'm okay with that.
because you got Hippity Hoppity in your town hopping on one foot like he's got to go pee-pee.
Yeah, he's a
He's
freak.
all like, hey, I need this. I'm like, just shut up.
Here's how you fix it. Here's how you fix it. Next year when this rolls around, if they do it again,
They'll do it again.
have the eggs grow on some of the trees, but don't
Leaf
have
eggs.
it come out of the wood eggs should grow
Wood
on
eggs.
those trees, okay? And just that's where you should get those, and that's it. The water eggs, the ocean eggs, those should come from the ocean, just like shells
those
do.
shouldn't exist.
Well, they're fine. Just let them wash up on shore. That's totally fine.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
I
like
that.
shells. That's really
Like
good.
shells,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
don't
that's
replace
better.
the shells. Have them in addition to the shells. Just have them there.
Yes.
That's
Same
how
with
you
the
solve
rocks.
it. You solve that.
Like,
Yes,
you know how
the rocks.
sometimes you wake up and there's like a little rock next to one of the big rocks.
Yeah.
Make that a little rock egg next
Yeah.
to a big rock.
Or just have them laying around or something.
I just know so many people are sick of us talking about Animal Crossing.
No,
it's like if I hear
no.
one more thing about Animal Crossing.
It's the greatest thing ever, and
It is.
also
Love it.
that bunny should die. All right.
Thank you for
I-
suffering through my my suffering.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
Please, and somebody please tell me, give me a really good price where I can sell my 1,200 turnips.
Oh my gosh, 1,200 turnips. The turnip
about
lady
1,200?
wasn't even there yesterday.
What?
She had to
Turnip
be.
lady was there at my house.
Not mine.
Not running out her nose
She
and
turned
everything.
up on my beach.
I looked all over for her in the timeline. You know,
Whoa, are you? You're not a time lord, are you? Not time shifting, are you?
No. I
All
went.
right.
No, I looked for her during the time she was supposed to be there, and she's gone by noon or whatever it is. And I never saw her, and I couldn't find her. So I didn't get any turnips yesterday, and that rubs my cheese.
No.
All right,
Oh no! All
let's
right.
find out who's been waiting on the line so
Do you-
patiently.
Yeah. go ahead.
Hi, who's this?
Hi, it's Kit London from the chat room.
Well, hello,
Oh,
Kit
look
London.
at Kit London.
Yeah,
London.
that's great. Good to have you here. Thanks for being patient and hanging on there for us. We appreciate it.
No worries. And I'm with you guys on the Animal Crossing. I've needed wood for fences, and I keep getting those stupid eggs.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Or let us convert the eggs.
Out of this.
If they let us
Actually,
convert
can.
the eggs to something else, that would be cool. So I know I'm no game designer, but I got solutions for all these problems, man. Just fix
Yeah,
it.
I'm with you. It's like, I need supplies. I don't need these stupid eggs.
Yeah, those eggs are.
Right.
I mean, I don't even like the egg clothes are the freaking worst.
They really are, exactly.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
Everyone looks like an
The
idiot
egg
in those.
bed,
Yeah.
the egg,
Oh,
you
it
know,
was awful.
Yeah. Did everyone do all their stuff that, like Dunaway? You say
Yeah.
you were up trying to finish it. Did you do every design and get the big gift and everything at the end?
wand.
Actually, I didn't. But my significant other, she had done all of them, except when she first started playing. She started playing about when this event started, and so she got a DIY on how to make a hat. And so she took it to the store and said, "I don't want this trash. Sell." She had everything except for that one.
No!
And then just when she realized, she's like, "Oh no, I sold it in the store."
She sold a little
Oh,
DIY
no.
card.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Just one. She was so furious.
All you got to do is, I mean, reading those is no big deal. It just puts them in a catalog. So
Yeah. Well, she didn't understand that. This was the first day that she played Animal Crossing ever. So she didn't know anything about what anything was, and she was just running around doing stuff.
Shoot, I got
That's
some extra
crazy.
recipes. I didn't get one for the hat, but I'm sure somebody would have found one.
Right.
That could have traded. Oh,
I ended up just mass selling every egg thing I had, including all the raw eggs I still had. I did trade in a bunch to get the baskets he gives you, even though it takes forever to get more than one. You just got to keep doing it.
Oh, really?
But I
Okay.
did that because you get like 1,200, 1,500, whatever it is per basket just to sell them.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh well.
And that was worth more than the eggs I was giving him. So that was an okay profit center for me. But anyway, I'm
I
glad
almost
got
hit
rid
up
of
Kit
it all.
London last night and said, "Kit London, I know you got one of those DIYs. Come on."
Yeah, pass that on over. Anyway, Kit London, it's good to have you here, and I'm glad we were able to continue our discussion of Animal Crossing, even though we were done. All right, hey Brian Ibbett, do you want to explain to Kit London how this works and how she could win?
If I have to, sure. All right, so I'm going to give Scott and Brian a topic. They're going to go back and forth giving me answers that fit that topic. If one of them gives a wrong answer, a repeated answer, or they take too long to come up with an answer, the win will go to the other player. Kit, your job is going to be to predict who's going to come out on top based on the topic. Today, you are playing for the carryover prizes from last week. Resident Evil 0 HD Remaster, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, and we are adding to the stack a mystery code. Yes, it's a game that will only reveal itself when you enter the code. We don't know what it is. Surprise
the
to all of
equivalent of the can that with no label.
us. Kind of is, or the grab bag, or the there's something that sometimes great things come in mystery packages. So.
You never know. We get a lot of those in Animal Crossing, so it's a good idea.
Right, you just shot down a balloon. Is it the blue balloons that drop the things you want?
The
red
gifts.
ones or the yellow ones drop money, right?
Right? Yes. Also, they can drop. Oh no!
Furniture.
I guess there's a straight up gold one that will drop a recipe for the gold weapons, which I have not gotten yet. Not weapons. Not weapons.
I was going to say,
tools.
gold weapons. I'm not playing this right at all.
Tools.
Apparently
Sorry, tools. But yeah, I can't wait to make my first gold tool. Apparently, they last almost forever. They're not 100% forever, but they'll last quite a while, and that's going to be a lot better than anything else in the game. So
Once you get one of the gold weapons, it turns into animal crushing. So it's terrific. Yes.
Oh, I'm in. Finally, the violent part comes out. All right. There you go. Those are awesome prizes.
Please tell me that the Animal Crossing trivia questions today. Go ahead.
Oh,
No.
wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great? No. Nope.
No. Aw.
But McMillions was just recently on HBO. It has moved or been added to Hulu. So if you have Hulu, you can watch McMillions now without having to have an HBO subscription. So watch it. It's great. Doug is the best FBI agent ever.
It's a fantastic documentary. I loved it.
It really is.
Yeah.
Which also probably gave Jamie this idea. Jamie submitted this one. There are 28 purchasable spots on Monopoly. Look, we're on day 30. I know Scott is probably still not anywhere near wanting to play Monopoly with the family at day 30 of of social distancing, but
No.
give him another couple months and he'll probably be ready for anything.
Yeah.
In any case, there are 28 purchasable properties on the Monopoly board. I want to know how many of them
Monopoly board.
you guys can name. That includes your railroads, your utilities, etc., but does not include stuff like income tax, chance, and community chest.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay. Yeah.
I
All right.
think so.
I think so
I-
too.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Okay. Kit, after hearing that great positive response to the question, who do you want to go first, and who do you think is going to win this one?
I'm going to pick Brian to win and Brian to go first.
Oh, look at the Brian.
Oh,
Some Brian
nice.
love.
Perfect. You know
Double
why?
Brian.
Yeah.
Right? I like that because I know that I can say anything as my first answer from listening to earlier, and it doesn't matter.
It automatically get a mulligan.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, you sure.
I'm gonna go with Potato Land.
Potato
And,
Land. Sure.
Yeah,
It's,
Potato Land.
Yeah,
That's the
you
first
know,
purchasable
Potato Land's first one you can get.
Potato.
It's one of the polka dot properties. Very
Yeah.
good.
Right. I'm gonna go with Boardwalk.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one to start with. The most expensive property on the board.
All right.
Boardwalk.
Then I'm gonna go with. I'm sorry. Let me get a quick clarification. Does this include utility stuff or no?
Yes, it does.
It does include that. Okay.
It does include utilities.
So anything purchasable, basically, on the board.
Correct.
Um,
Railroads, utilities, and
Let's make sure
And-
because you can't put like a hotel or a freaking house on a utility.
you can, but you can still purchase it, and people have to pay you when they land on it.
That's right. And that's the important part. Okay.
Mhm.
Then I'm gonna go with. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Hold on. My brain just went a little dead. I don't want to get this wrong because I know this word is not this word, but this thing is weird. All right, we're gonna start with Waterworks.
Waterworks. Okay, very good.
I couldn't think of it. It took a
There's
while.
a million easy ones, and he goes for Waterworks.
You got to remember, Brian knows this too. I hate Monopoly, and so
Yep, I
part of
totally
this is
know
that.
this,
Yeah.
That's what kind of makes this fun.
Yeah.
Waterworks, absolutely. Pay 10 times the amount. No, 5 times the amount on the die, or 10 times the amount if you own both utilities.
Right.
I'm taking a ride on Reading Railroad.
You'll pronounce it wrong though. It is
Oh.
Reading Railroad, as in Reading, Pennsylvania.
No,
but
it's reading.
Reading
It says reading. Look at it. It
Railroad.
says reading. It's a Reading Railroad. No, I'm confusing that. That's the Reading Rainbow.
It's Reading
I'm sorry.
Rainbow.
You're right. You're right. It is reading.
Reading.
It is Reading. It's in Reading, Pennsylvania. Whatever. You know what? You pronounce it. When
Duck
your
season.
house, in your house, your rules. You pronounce it however you want. Reading Railroad. Yes, one of the railroads you can purchase in the game.
Okay. Atlantic Avenue.
Very good. Atlantic
That's a good
Avenue.
one.
That is a good one.
All
One of
right.
the yellow properties.
Okay.
B.O. Railroad.
B&O Railroad.
Guess who buys all the railroads when they're playing
I think
Monopoly?
you-
Yeah, because it's like it's some good
It's a,
money.
it's a
Everybody always
scheme.
lands
It's
on
a
the
scheme.
railroads.
Everybody
Yeah.
thinks, I'm not buying the railroads.
No, it's
Yeah,
worth
B&O
it.
Railroad. Great.
That's how you
great
make the money.
there.
And the
Back
dad
to-
jokes.
Okay. Oh, geez. Indiana Avenue? Is that one?
Of course it is. Indiana Avenue, absolutely. One of the red properties. That's the those are the second properties I try and go for. I trade my mother to get
Trade your
the
mother.
orange and the red properties for sure.
All right.
Those are the most frequently landed on ones. Orange.
Well, do not pass go, but go ahead and head on over to the short line.
the
Railroad.
short line railroad. You really are going for all the railroads first. I
I'm
love
glad
it.
he is.
Well,
'cause
like I
can't
said,
remember
that's
him.
always because I watch my kids and they're always trying to get Boardwalk in that other place,
Mhm.
and I always end up going for the railroads first.
All right.
Yeah.
This is one of those where I can't remember if we've said one or not.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping for.
Shoot. I can't remember if he said this or not. All
Oh, I
right.
totally said it.
There's a Kentucky Avenue.
Is that the one you're
Oh,
saying?
sorry.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yes, Kentucky Avenue has not
Ah.
been said yet, so there you go. Yes, another one of the red properties, and another one that I usually go for.
All right.
And I'm running the board with my railroads with Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania Railroad, very good. Yep, now you've collected all of the railroads.
And
which
now
means
you owe me
rent
so
is-
much money.
rent is quadrupled now. Is that the deal?
It is
Right?
quadrupled now.
200,
And you don't have to
200
put any.
on Yeah.
You don't have to put any hotels on it. You don't have to put any houses. You go early, and people go bankrupt because they're over there trying to buy up 3 of one color.
Right. Right.
And none of
the
these
way
can
to go.
be. I mean, we can't slip in international versions of these, right? Like
No,
I can't.
no,
okay.
no World of
What?
Warcraft version Monopoly. No
Okay.
talking about?
Parasopoly. No. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Because they have like a to go to, like Brian said, Paris. You can go to. There's a France version. It has all these French names.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah,
Just,
oui,
just
oui.
making sure.
Wee free parking.
Wee free parking. Let's do. Is there a? I can't remember if we said this or not. Is there a Vermont Avenue? Did we say
There
that?
is a Vermont Avenue. I think one of the late
And you said it
blue
twice.
properties.
I'm just kidding.
No, did we? Did I say it twice? I did
No, you
say
didn't say it.
Okay.
When you land on Vermont Avenue, 40% of your rent goes to the 20% of the workers who put together that hotel.
Well, now that I've totally screwed you up on the railroads, I'm heading over there since I've already landed on Boardwalk, my first pass around. I'm going to land on Park Place and go ahead and get ready to start laying down some mansions.
There
Okay.
you go. All right. Park Place. You've now, Brian has now got a monopoly on the dark blue.
Yeah, and now I can
properties.
really start earning some money.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. Oh, I don't remember what color these are. That would help
You don't have
me.
to name the color.
I know, but I bet it would help me.
No, it wouldn't.
Is there a Massachusetts one?
Yes,
A
absolutely.
Massachusetts what? A Massachusetts what?
Oh, do I need to know the kind of street name? Avenue. Is there-
Okay, Massachusetts Avenue. There
Okay.
you
It's
go. Very good.
always Avenue.
Not always.
Yeah, there is no Massachusetts
always.
anything in the game. I just wanted to make you
Oh, it doesn't exist? That's
Always
not real?
Avenue, Scott.
There's no
Always.
Massachusetts
Wait,
anything
is
in
it
the
Boston?
game.
Is it a Boston Avenue or Boston?
There's not one of those either. No.
No. I know one more.
Well, no,
What was
actually,
the
you
one-
didn't. You didn't know that one. So.
No, but I had one more in my bank, and that's all I had left. I had
What was
one
the
more.
one you had in your bank?
I had Marvin Gardens.
That's
Yeah,
always
Marvin
the one I
Gardens.
land in. I don't know why. I always land on Marvin Gardens.
You maybe should have said that. Yeah. Here's everything else you could have said: Baltic Avenue, Connecticut Avenue, Electric Company, Illinois Avenue, Mediterranean Avenue, New York, North Carolina, Oriental, Pacific, Pennsylvania Avenue. There's a double Pennsylvania Avenue and a railroad. St. Charles Place, St. James Place, States Avenue, Tennessee, Ventnor, and Virginia.
Ventnor.
Ventnor.
I knew that one. Is that one of the yellows? The Ventnor?
Ventnor is no. Yes, Ventnor is one of the yellows. Right?
The yellows are the worst, right? That's like Slumtown. Getting the yellows.
No. The
What am
the
I
dark
thinking of?
brown, the dark brown or purple, depending on
Yes.
which version of the game. Baltic and Mediterranean are your Roach motels.
Right. Right.
Eh,
Then you got your light blues, and you've got Oriental. What are the 3 light blues? Those are kind of your next cheapest. I'll have to look.
Yeah.
look, let me tell you. Let me tell you how I play Monopoly.
Okay.
My kids always want to play as long as possible. I want to go as quick as possible.
Yeah,
So
yes,
I go
exactly.
for bust. I
Yeah.
go for bust, man. If it's not on that final turn, if it's not on turn 3 and 4, I'm not
Right.
buying it.
All right.
Right.
Well, I get one of these. She gets one of these.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Congratulations, Kit London. How do you feel about your massive win?
Woot woot.
Great.
Yeah, good.
Yay.
Well, I can't think of a
Let us
nicer
know what that
person to get
mystery
it.
game was.
Yeah, let us know. I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, for sure. Email me at covervillegmail.com and I will get you your prizes.
That's right. I secretly hope that your mystery game is that weird Kentucky Fried Chicken dating game that they made.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
I'm
what.
just gonna say the other
Kentucky
thing.
Fried Chicken dating game?
Yeah, it's really weird.
Oh, we did talk about that. Yes, it's
called
not Kentucky
the-
Fried Chicken. It's just dating. It's like a chicken dating game.
No, it's straight
Pigeons.
up like it's.
Oh, really?
It's,
It's
Colonel
KFC?
Sanders. Yeah. What's it
hilarious.
called? It's got a name. I gotta look it up now. Colonel
I thought you were talking about
Sanders
Kentucky Route Zero at first, but you're
game.
not, obviously.
It's called I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking good dating game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Finger-licking good dating game.
It's really weird. It's a
Yeah,
weird thing.
not so good these days, any finger licking anything.
Oh, yeah, they got to change the name. Change it to I Love You, Colonel Sanders, please stay 6 feet away. Like that.
See,
That'd be
that's
the
the
name.
danger of having a mystery code for your Steam library, because once you put something in your Steam library, it's there for always. And if it's crap,
Yeah.
it's just littering up your
No,
library.
you can chuck
Are
it.
like the herpes of Steam.
They have an
Right.
they have an option now. You can kill anything from
hide
your
it.
thing.
But you can hide it. You can't reject it.
Yeah, but it's effectively gone. It's not there if you hide it, right?
until you forget.
Until you load your install on a brand new computer.
Right. And you go, son of a butthole.
I think
What
it's
is that?
account wide. I think it actually works pretty good now. You can hide it for pretty good forever. It's
I
still
hate
there
Steam.
though. It's like putting something in a closet and never opening that closet again. You know it's in that closet. It's like that. Yeah. Anyway, congratulations, Kit London. I hope you have a blast playing that, and thank you for playing. You're awesome. Dunaway, you're awesome too. And here's how we know this, because later today at 3:30 Mountain Time, that'll be 5:30 your time, which is the Eastern Seaboard there.
Yeah.
We're gonna get
Eastern Seaboard Avenue.
we're gonna get together.
Right by Massachusetts Avenue.
We're gonna record an episode of the Boop Show. I cannot wait to tell everybody about this weird ass lost game in the corner of the nowhere warehouse that is the eShop on the Switch that I found.
Oh, nice! You have to tell me about that tonight. And
I
I got
love
one
it.
too. I got one this. Oh, it was so much fun. And it was frustrating as well. And you may already have it on the Epic Game Store if you
Oh,
picked it
maybe.
up a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, this one is also got a little frustration, but in a good way. It's a very cool, weird thing that I hope they put it somewhere else too, because I think it deserves to get some more exposure. Anyway, we'll talk about that and more on the video game show
Minecraft
called The Boop
Dungeons.
Show. Oh yeah, is that out? When's that out? Is that today?
It's still in beta, but closed beta. I'm in.
Oh, you bastard!
So
I want to
I've
play
got
it.
to talk about it.
I want to play it. It looks good. Diablo freaking Minecraft is what that is. Anyway, looks neat. Brian Dunaway, the Brian Dunaway on Twitter. Oh, and the Boop Show today is at the Frog Pants TV at what time? 3:30 Mountain Time. So be here for that. Brian Dunaway, stay out of trouble.
Stay
Be good.
safe.
We'll see you later. Bye.
Don't touch your face, Brian.
Especially that face. Jeez.
Did anyone watch the Tiger King thing last night?
No, I
Joel
meant
McHale?
to. I meant to. I
I
didn't.
completely forgot about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not really into after show stuff. I kind of want it to be. I thought it was going to be like a supplemental, like actual episode.
Right, where are they now? Which it kind of is going to be, but the fact that it's got Joel McHale hosting it.
I like Joel McHale.
People say it
but-
was good, actually.
Was it? Okay.
Mikey VC says yes. Watched it. It's worth it.
All right. Does he have
Angles
people on? Like, I didn't seem like any of those people wanted to be on.
no, he
there.
has them on probably via Zoom or Skype or something.
Yeah, I'm sure Jeff Lowe does, because that dude just wants. He seems. To
He
love
wants
this.
screen time. He thinks that he's he thinks that he's God's gift to humanity. That
Yeah,
dude.
he's loving it. He likes everything about this.
Yeah.
But Carol, I'm guessing Carol Baskin is not interested, right? Not into it.
Nope. She says, no, you cool cats and kittens. I'm going to sit this one out.
That's right. My current husband doesn't know what's ahead, but we may have to feed him to the top. Oh, oops! I've said too much. Click. Anyway, well, all right then, Brian.
Yeah.
We have time for a quick version of this.
You need to read this, sir. You need to read it now.
It's time for the news, brought to you by.
This segment is sponsored by a friend of the show who couldn't think of anything clever to say.
That's literally what they wanted me to say, so I'm saying it.
Yeah. All right.
Or you're saying it.
I'm saying it, technically.
One way or the other.
Jeez.
Someone's saying it.
Jeez.
All right, we're going to do as much of this as we can. Probably one story, two story. We'll see. A Michigan man wearing a thong underwear as a coronavirus mask assaults another man who mocked him. Now the part.
Okay. I read this. It's funny. This is like, it totally makes sense. Reading the headline the way you did is correct.
Yeah.
Michigan man wearing thong. A Michigan man wearing thong underwear as a coronavirus mask assaults a man who mocked him.
Yes, that is correct. That's the one I read.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you put a comma in there.
Oh,
a coronavirus mask assaulted a man who mocked him. While another dude in Michigan is wearing thong underwear.
Yeah, you put one comma.
Sitting idly by.
If one comma totally messes up your headline, you probably should rewrite your headline. I'm thinking.
Yeah, probably.
A Michigan man was allegedly assaulted after he mocked another man who was using thong underwear as a coronavirus mask. I've seen this actually a couple of times. People wearing these. Not in person, but in somebody caught some video and put it on TikTok or whatever.
Yeah.
The Battle Creek Inquirer reports the bizarre incident occurred in a home on Lakefront Drive in Battle Creek. Those are also, oddly enough, not Monopoly spaces that you can get in.
Nope. No houses on Lakefront Drive or hotels or anything like that.
That'd be fun, but no.
Yeah, sure.
There is a Salt Lake City edition of Monopoly where everything's based on Salt Lake
There's
City.
an everything edition.
There probably is. Every city in the country's probably got one, right? Yeah.
I've only got I've got regular Monopoly. I've got mounted or in a frame on the wall. I've got a 1955 edition of Monopoly that Tina bought for me for a birthday present, framed, and pieces are like on the board the way like he was in the middle of a game.
Yeah.
I've got Star Wars Monopoly, and I think I've got World of Warcraft Monopoly, and I think that's it.
That's really not that many for a guy
I don't
who
have
likes
Las
Monopoly.
Vegas Monopoly, surprisingly.
What?
Yeah, I know.
All right, I'm going to remember this next time there's a birthday roll around or whatever.
Sure, okay.
That's a good one. Because I'm usually terrible at that, so that's a good idea.
I know it's got to have like stickers you can peel off because I was like, oh, that's not the Aladdin anymore, or that's not the
Right. And you know what you have to do? You have to do this through the whole game with the cards that you get. You have to go.
Yeah, right. Yes.
To flick those when you get them.
Perfect.
Anyway, the three I have Monopoly, I have Mario Monopoly, Super Mario Monopoly, and I have the Warcraft one. Those are all the ones I have.
Do you have the Super Mario Monopoly, or do you have that Monopoly Gamer? Which Monopoly Gamer is actually
I have one that's just Mario stuff, I think, but I haven't actually played it. We got it because it just seemed like a thing to have because we love video games here, and so that's why we got it. But it may be the whole video game one. I'm not sure.
Well, the one that's called Monopoly Gamer plays differently than regular Monopoly, and it's a lot of fun. Way better than if you're not a fan of regular Monopoly. Monopoly Gamer is a great way to go.
And also a side note, I've talked about it on the show before, but
cards, right?
Yeah,
Monopoly
that Monopoly Deal, it's called. Is so good.
A deal.
It's one of my favorite card games. I love it. Love it. For a guy who hates Monopoly, I sure love their card game. Okay. It's very different, and that's probably why. All right.
Yeah.
Here's the story here. Oh, yeah. So this happened around 7 p.m. on Monday. 57-year-old victim told the suspect it looked like the thongs laying around the victim's house, which upset the suspect. The warrant is being sought for the 47-year-old suspect who allegedly returned to the victim's house 45 minutes later after the initial confrontation, struck him in the side of the head, and kicked him in the ribs.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Just for wearing a thong?
Just for wearing on his head, yes. For wearing a thong.
Oh, no, I guess he was the guy mocked the guy. So the guy with the thong attacked the guy who made fun
Correct.
of him.
He left first because he was just upset. Then he got mad, came back, and took out his anger on his buddy.
Thong, 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 thong.
Thong. That's the sound of the sound it made.
When he starts up his smack.
Yeah.
He goes, thong.
Exactly. Final story: a man caught driving 135 miles per hour to avoid catching the coronavirus. If you're doing 130 miles per hour on a motorway in Surrey in the UK, says he was trying to avoid catching the virus. I don't think it works like that. I don't think it's.
No, you like zip around the viruses in the air. And, yeah.
Serpentine, you say the whole time.
He probably thinks you can run to avoid getting wet when it's raining.
Which is kind of ironic, according to Bitterest Pill.
Isn't it ironic?
Anyway, that guy, he said this. His reply to why he was speeding, he says, "I thought the faster I went, there was less chance I would catch the coronavirus," he told the police. The British government has banned all non-essential travel as part of strict measures put in place to stop the spread. Last month, the driver made a 220-mile round trip around the UK to collect some windows he bought for £15 on eBay, despite the coronavirus lockdown.
Wow, he bought some windows on eBay for £15 and.
Brian, you gotta get those. You gotta get your windows, man. Like,
I guess so. Did he get Ultra or Vista?
It's 7, I think.
Yeah, 7.
We've all agreed
Windows
7 was
Me.
really.
Did he get Windows Me?
Yeah, he got Me. What was it? Yeah, it was just Me, right? Windows
ME. Yeah.
Yeah, that sucked. By the way, Me was a messy, buggy piece of poop. Bad
really
time
was.
for gaming. If you were a gamer then, you regretted installing Windows ME, and you went back to like NT.
95 or
Yeah, I think I
Windows NT.
I
We had a
installed-
bunch of
Yeah.
we had a bunch of Windows NT that I had to install. That's like your network. Like you basically have to have a server and dummy machines with Windows NT.
Totally, but you could install the main stuff on a computer and have it basically act as a Windows box and just not network anything to it. What a weird time, dude.
It really was, yeah.
The turn of the century stuff, era Windows era. Ooh.
I remember having to create a network in our company with coax cable.
Yeah.
So it was like, you'd have the thing that comes out of the back of the machine that goes into a T that has coax cable on both sides.
Yeah.
And you'd have to basically daisy chain a coax cable through the entire office.
Oh my lord. Yeah, it was what they called that what was that called?
Yeah, because it's not a hub and spoke. It is a
And the term for the network itself is called
token ring.
Token ring.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie VX.
We had that too back in about '96. I had to maintain a token ring network at the place I worked.
It's horrendous.
That
and
sucked.
if one piece got connected, the whole network went down. You had to figure out, where it stopped.
Yeah, it was bad. It was a
Where
bad
it
time. Yeah, I mean it was a step in the right direction, but we had ways to go, for sure. It feels like yesterday, but it was like 20.
It totally does.
22 years ago, 23 years ago. Oh my gosh. Anyway, all right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, major spoilers. Own Steven Schleicher will be here. We're going to talk about how the publishers are doing during this mess. We've talked about it a little bit before, but it's starting to get weird. So we'll talk to him about that. Then Daryl after that, I think. I haven't heard. Did Daryl send us a thing? Let's see here.
Oh, I didn't see anything from Daryl.
I didn't either. Daryl. Oh, he did. Trek Nerd News. Okay, there's some. So yeah, he'll be joining us. That'll be a good time. So anyway, come back for that. But before that, we're going to play a song live right here on the show that Brian will introduce to us and tell us all about. Brian.
Yes, this is one where you may want to seek out the video for this one. It's kind of kooky. A band called Draculas from Austin, Texas. Have a brand new single.
I'm just sitting there on my iPod. It's just so frustrating. I want to be in Florida getting a tan on my back.
Easy listening for Office Depot parking lot taco eating. This is the morning stream.
And we're back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. That was cool. Very punky, kind of Ramone-y sounding business.
Very Ramone and Devo and Pixies. Yeah, they have a lot of great influences, I think, from that band.
Chat room wanted to know where this came from. Hold on. That is not from Banjo-Kazooie. That is the Dodo, from the pilot Dodo from Animal Crossing, the current Animal
Talks
Crossing.
so much, that pilot Dodo.
Yeah, he's. I like his voice though. He's got the lowest voice in the game, and he's kind of got a vibe I like. So.
Quick back announce, by the way. That's Level Up by the Draculas, or just Draculas. Drakulas, by the way, if you're looking for them on YouTube and you want to find that weird video.
Well, I did want to find out more. So.
Well, there you go.
Thank you for that.
Now you can.
That was great. Okay.
Okay.
We have a friend. His name is Steven. I'm gonna play this.
Steven.
Mr. Schleicher joins us as he does every Monday to talk about the world of comics and pop culture and other cool stuff, although lately a lot of it has been just sort of covering how that industry is dealing with the current crisis. And today will be a little bit like that as well. Steven, welcome to the show. It's nice to have you.
Well, hello, Scott. Hello, Brian.
Hello.
And welcome.
How you doing?
Good.
Hey, got a quick question for you.
Go.
Yeah.
Have you guys been watching any movies or TV, and then in large group crowds, you're suddenly like, oh, no, that's not safe?
Every time.
Yes. Yeah. Every time we see a large crowd, like talked about this on Film Sack, I think. Every time we see a large crowd somewhere, it's like, stay away, people, stay away.
Yeah, or you see people that can't wait to see each other. They're just like run up and they haven't seen each other in 6 months and they're hugging and, slapping hands and shaking hands and all this. I'm like, oh, no, don't be doing that. Don't do that.
Yeah, I was watching the Jay and Silent Bob reboot movie, and there's a big thing that takes place at a convention. I'm like, oh, no, that's not right.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, come on, dumbass.
Yeah, and not only that, but it frustrates me or frustrates me personally because I see that and go, oh yeah, you can't be in crowds like that. But I want to go to BlizzCon again. I want to be in Vegas. I want to do these things again. So I want it to get, we got to get, I don't know what we got. We got to get
back there.
We got to get back there. All right. That's all I'm saying. And you got Fauci. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, Fauci was saying that this might be the end of the handshake, or maybe, we start eliminating the handshake.
I'd be okay with it if it just meant, but the problem is I like hugging people, man.
Yeah.
Like when I see Brian next, what am I going to do?
We're going to elbow bump each other and say hi.
Yeah, I'm just going to go, hey Brian, what's going on?
Right.
Like there's a lot of cultural shiftiness that's going to have to happen if Fauci, or is it? I always say Fosse. It's Fauci, is it? Is it Fauci?
Yeah.
Okay. Fosse's an easier name to say than Fauci.
Fosse's a dancer, a dance choreographer.
And Fauci is a guy who tells us we're all going to live or die.
You all gonna die if you don't wash your hands.
On the plus side, my standoffish attitude towards people will seem like I'm being
finally
medically appropriate.
Well, you know what?
You can always just say, no, it's still social distancing.
Exactly.
Sorry.
My whole, I'm kind of a homebody anyway, because I don't know, I like my alone time, and so this hasn't been that bad for me. Like there are parts of it I hate. I want to be with my kids. I want to be with Van. I want to be, with my friends. I wanted to go to Vegas. I wanted all that stuff, but really, I'm okay on my own, or in isolation of some sort. Plus, we've got Kim here, so it's great. But I can whittle away a lot of time with creative stuff and other things. I'm okay not being Joe Social every 5 minutes. But I know there are people that are losing it because their whole lives is, I'm out, I'm here, I'm there, I'm going to the club, I'm going to the thing, I'm at the movie 5 times a week, I'm doing this and this and this. Like they're people who are probably just popping off because they just can't wait to get back out in that. And of course, everybody
people
in
who
between.
have a ton of kids at home probably also can't wait to get out of the house.
See, that's what's funny. Kim last night, that's funny, Brian, because she says to me, she turns to me, she goes, I know that there are parents right now with little kids at home who are pulling their hair out and this is driving them crazy. But I wish my kids were here. And I said, well, honey, they're all old enough now that they wouldn't bother us in the same way. But, I totally get her point. It's like feast or famine. It's either like part of me wants to,
kids or not enough kids.
Yeah. And part of you wants to say to people, hey, enjoy it while you can and have the fun you can, because, you never know when this could happen again and you'll be separated. It's better to be together. But that's easy for us to say, because we're on the other side of it and our kids aren't there all the time and they're not young and they're not, freaking out and pooping and barfing and all the things kids do.
Well, hopefully, not all kids do that.
No, not at the same time.
I mean eventually they do.
Yes.
Not all at the same time, hopefully, yes.
And not something that you have to be worried about if they're pooping. If they're old enough, they know how to go to the bathroom by themselves.
Yeah,
take care of that.
If they're poofing and barfing, you need to flatten that curve right away. Get that taken care of. Anyway.
No, my kids are doing okay. They play a lot of Animal Crossing, or I don't know if I said it last week, but my oldest played through Breath of the Wild for the second time, all the way through beginning to end in like 3 days.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The youngest
Still haven't finished that in 12 months.
Or more. Didn't they come out in 2017? Yeah, it's been a while. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, the youngest, who's about to turn 9, he has like schoolwork every day that keeps him busy from like 8 in the morning until like 2 in the afternoon.
Why do you think they give? It seems like they're giving a lot. Do you think that's a good thing, or how do you feel?
I think it's to keep them preoccupied, but he gets frustrated because his older brother gets all of his homework done in like a day and a half tops, and he's working every single day of the week.
Yeah.
And it seems like the older the kids are, the less work that they have to do.
Yeah, the disparity's weird. It's like I've heard this from some other parents. The younger the kids are, the heavier the workload for this from the school, and the older they are, the less it is. It's like the high school kids are just kind of cruising. It's weird.
And they still have developing minds and everything, so keeping them occupied and keeping them thinking is probably a good thing.
Yeah, that's true. I could buy into that. Well, anyway, let's talk a little bit about the since we last spoke, because a week is like a year. It feels like
man. It's forever.
Yeah. The publisher's getting kind of anxious. And what's Diamond saying these days about timing?
So it's weird because, Diamond said, hey, due to the coronavirus, we're going to protect our warehouse workers and, shut down, and we're not going to be delivering any comics.
Yeah.
And then they came out a week later and said, hey, we're not going to be paying our publishers on time. We'll be paying 25% now, and we'll be paying more later down the road. And so that's a scary sign. But then Alterna Comics went on Twitter this weekend and said, hey, due to news from Diamond that the potential earliest release date for new product will be in August, we have canceled all of our solicits with them.
Oh, wow.
And I haven't heard anything about that. I guess people are thinking that the April solicitations were going to come out in July. And then, of course, Diamond has canceled their May catalog, so there won't be any comics solicited in May. And so the earliest that would happen would probably be August. But that is a long time for a publisher to not get paid, for artists to not get paid, for comic stores to, even when the shops reopen, if they're allowed to open before the end of May.
Yeah.
That is a lot of time with no product. That's like 2 months, 3 months without product to have in your store.
Right.
And so the publishers are getting kind of antsy. IDW a week or so ago had said, look, we're not going to do anything, but today I got an email from them saying, hey, we still have trade paperbacks and books that are going to book resellers. So if you've got Amazon or Scholastic or Barnes & Noble is still open in your neighborhood, books are still going out from them. That's kind of not really a change in direction, because it seems like the publishers have always been, yes, we are going to support our local comic shops by not releasing new material. Oh, by the way, we're releasing new material in trade paperback and book form.
Yeah. I read an article on Newsarama. The headline was comics still selling well in book trade despite coronavirus pandemic. And so that angle is doing okay. Do you think, I mean, this may be too much to predict, I don't know, but if this goes on much longer, is that the new distribution channel and that's it?
Well, Alterna then went on to say, hey, we're going to start selling direct to readers and retailers through our web store.
Mm-hmm.
DC Comics has said a couple of weeks ago that they are looking for alternative routes to getting material to publishers and to fans, getting around Diamond. And then this morning, we've got a news story coming up on the site. Magnetic Press, who is a branch of Oni Press and Lion Forge, have announced that they're reopening their web store so that they can sell comics directly to retailers and individuals.
Right.
So I don't think Diamond's going to come out very good on the other side of this thing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bet that most of these publishers are going to look at, dealing directly with the comic shop. So on the one hand, it used to be nice where you have Diamond delivering all the comics that you ordered in one batch. But we may be going back to a time where, hey, you want to order Diamond or DC Comics, you need to contact the DC distribution rep, or you need to contact your Marvel rep going forward. So this is going to, I can't predict anything, but it's very interesting that the publishers are sitting there going, no, we need to sell content. We need to get stuff out there. And I know it's a week, like you said, Brian, is a year away, but it would not surprise me if by the end of this month, if comic shops and things are not reopening and things are not moving, that the publishers are all saying, nope, we're going to go to digital day and date release, which will really piss off the local comic shops who are already threatening, to boycott the publishers, which is just like, here, I'm going to shoot myself in the foot if I can't understand that there's competition to my comic shop. So
yeah, the problem is
if
all the publishers go digital day and date, then there's no one to boycott because that's everyone. You know what I mean? Like you're out of companies to boycott. You either continue to be a comic shop or you don't. I guess I hate to say that, but on the Diamond front, hasn't it been for years, maybe decades, that people have said this isn't a great thing anyway because it's like this weird monopolized middleman?
Oh, it's not a weird monopolized middleman. It is a monopolized middleman.
Yeah.
Back in I think 1994, there were still 3 comic book distributors taking different portions of the country, Diamond being the East Coast area. And then because the others couldn't keep up, Diamond acquired them and has become a monopoly ever since. So all it takes is Diamond saying, we're not paying, or we're upping the rate, or we're doing this. And suddenly the whole industry is affected by that.
That's a poopy choke point. I've never liked it. Like, it just seems bad. And it really limits the industry. They're like, oh, well, all right, our entire thing hinges on this one little in-between piece, and there's no competition, and they're the one people we have to rely on for this. And in a situation like this, I could be wrong. My prediction is they figure out a way to pull out of that and do directs, and they certainly could do it. Like DC and Marvel could totally do this. I can't speak for the independents, but it seems like they could absolutely work directly with build their own distribution model and not.
That takes time. Though.
They would have to ramp it up.
That's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
That's why I think what I mentioned a minute ago about Magnetic Press. I think that web storefront was already in place before they shuttered it a couple of years ago. So it's very easy to just reopen that back up and start it going again.
Yeah.
But for someone like DC, yeah, maybe they have some stuff that they can deal with some of their bigger comic book stores, but they don't have access to every single comic book store, to my knowledge. Now that may change, but I think what we're going to see is we're going to see the digital day and date release happen first, and you're going to hear the LCSs complain, but as been said many times, the digital market and the direct market are two separate entities. The Venn diagram of digital comic readers and physical comic book readers has a very small crossover.
I agree.
I think we will start to see more pushing from the publishers to look at the OGNs, which I've been talking about for years, go direct to trade. And DC has been doing that with their DC Kids line over the last 6 months or so. Mm-hmm. And so I think we're going to be seeing more of that coming up, which will be a big boon for attracting younger readers into comics.
Yeah.
But yeah, if Diamond isn't able to recover, if they're not able to get one of those business loans from the government, then yeah, comics are going to be really hit hard in terms of how do we get new product out to people when we've lost our shipping method. I guess UPS, they can't go to the Postal Service because the Postal Service is about to declare bankruptcy.
Yeah, that's that whole thing. Don't even get me started.
Yeah.
There's a deep dive on that, people, if you want to go read what's going on. Not just what's happening with it right now, but like the history of that. Why?
Yeah, it goes all the way back to 2004.
It's a gnarly setup.
Yeah.
What they did in 2004 is weird.
Yeah.
To this moment, I don't quite understand how anyone let that happen, but whatever. Okay. Well, the silver lining here to me is there are no comics without the comic makers, right? It doesn't exist
Correct.
without Marvel, Boom, DC, Viz, everybody. They can't.
Right.
They can't go away if we want comics to stick around. So, number one thing for me is that, hey, they're doing okay with the book trade market. Mm-hmm. And not only okay, in some cases quite well, substantially up over March 2019. So year over year, they're doing better that direction because it's the only direction people are getting stuff, which is a big part of that. But
right.
To me, the silver lining is that maybe a new business model arises that means quicker to the customer. It may take a while, maybe take some blood and guts to get there, but this may end up being a good transition for comics overall. I don't want to see stores get dinged, but I don't know how you do it in this future. Like, there's a reason Borders went away. Speaking of just, other printed stuff. They went away because there's only so much room for a place like a giant bookstore in the digital age. And we can rail against that all we want, but it's just so much cheaper, easier, faster, more accessible. Here's what we would all be complaining about right now if there was no such thing as digital distribution. We would all be mad that we couldn't get a copy of Animal Crossing New Horizon anywhere because it would have all been physical media and they can't produce enough. But no, we live in a time where you can download the damn thing.
Well, and there's also the problem of size versus selection, right? So even the best Borders bookstore, Barnes and Noble or KB Books or whatever that they have, they're not going to be able to have every single copy of everything, which is why people started turning to Amazon and online retailers to get stuff shipped directly to them because, we don't have this book in stock, Mr. Johnson. We can certainly order it for you. And the answer is, well, I can order it too and have it delivered right to my home. Why do I need to go through you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it's going to be a complicated, nuanced problem, but we're gonna have to see a different thing on the other side of this. I just don't know how you make it.
I guarantee you, the comic book publishers are not sitting back and doing nothing during this time. They're trying to figure out very, very quickly how they can get books back into people's hands. So my guess is, we're going to see more digital direct stuff in the coming weeks. Where people are like, we're just going to go back to digital day and date, and you can go and get the physical copies if you want when they come out. But I don't think that we're going to go for I don't think we will go through the entire month of May with no new comics.
Right. Probably not, I would say. I mean, they're all trying to figure stuff out. Final in the chat room says, where is it? It says, yeah, but there are people like me who can't do digital reading. No, I get it. I'm not saying it's the end of printed comics any more than CDs or MP3s were the end of vinyl. Clearly, that's become a nice little cottage industry to still have vinyl out there. what I'm saying is it becomes more like that, a boutique extension of the industry as a whole. It's no longer the main method. It becomes a slightly lessened method of getting your stuff. And if you're a super stickler about getting printed stuff, you'll always be able to get it. And you'll probably pay a premium because that's how this stuff goes as it gets shifted into sort of, I don't know, vinyl territory. You don't go buy a vinyl record for $7.99 anymore. You pay $30 for that thing or whatever. But then most people are getting their music through other sources. So I use the music example as one way to look at it, but I don't think it's all that different. There's still music stores. There aren't as many. And of course there aren't. And there won't be as many comic book stores, and there certainly won't be as many bookstores, physical bookstores, as we get further and further in this thing. To this day, one of the most like mind-blowing realizations I ever had was walking into a Barnes & Noble, and it hitting me all at once. This is probably 2-3 years ago. I walk in there, and it's a vast one, multi-floor one of those big ones, right? Just wall-to-wall stuff, magazine, books, just everything. And I looked at it all at once, and I looked down at my hand, and I realized, oh my gosh, everything in here times 5 fits on this device.
Right.
This single device. I don't mean that one of these books will fit here. All of them would fit here. And I'm not saying that that's preferable for some people the way they want to read. I get it. That's not my point. My point is at some point that starts to shift the weight the other direction. It just does. That's going to be the natural way of it. And I there's a million arguments as to why I'm wrong, but we're already seeing it. And not just because of the pandemic, but there's a reason Barnes & Noble's the only one left, and they're barely hanging on by a thread, according to most reports. Yeah. Because
Adhesive Wombat says in the chat, move to digital day and date for the single issues, and then the print moves exclusively to trade paperbacks. That makes a lot of sense. I've been saying for years that skip the single issues completely and just go directly to trade. It makes it a lot easier for new people to get into a story and not have to get back.
It's the Netflix
go
way.
back to the store.
Yeah, it's the Netflix binge idea, sort of.
Yeah.
Just binge on it. I prefer it that way. I sometimes will wait for a comic to finish and then get the trade. That's how I prefer to read them.
Yeah, a lot of people trade wait. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Trade wait. Somebody else says, I'm fine paying $5 to $6 more for a physical version of a book. Are you talking about paying $5 or $6 more on top of the $5 or $6 you're already paying for a single issue? Because that's what we're sitting at right now is $3.99, $4.99 for a book. You're willing to pay $10 for 25 pages?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Right. So it's just, I don't know, man. You're going to see some subscription stuff happen, and this is all good. What I'm actually saying is good overall, and it's bad in the short term, and it's, it dings certain people. But I don't know. It always reminds me, Tom and I talked about this once, Merritt. We were talking about when Lotus 123 was first announced. And the accountant community, the CPAs of the world, were panicking. They were like, oh my gosh, this is going to put us all out of jobs. Here comes some software that does all of this complicated spreadsheet stuff that we literally do in a book with pens, paper, and whatever. Like, it's coming along. It's going to destroy us. We're done. We're out of here if this thing is allowed to happen. And it happened. And what happened instead, yes, there was some shifting around, but what that did is it created jobs. It created new opportunities, because now all that stuff that used to take a human mind in their hand forever to do is being done in seconds, freeing you up for a million other things to do in the financial services world that made your CPA job way more valuable than it was before then. If anything, it had the exact opposite of what people were fearing. So I tend to be that way with most of these things. These kinds of shifts, whether they're technology-based or not, tend to be okay and good in the long run. Is it going to ding Joe's comics book store up the road? Yes. But is there someone else who's going to enterprise this and go, oh, you know what I could do? I'm going to have digital kiosks in my store, and they're going to come preview all this stuff and order the trades right there and be able to read them in the store if they want. And the Wi-Fi will let them, blah, blah, blah. Like, someone's going to find the way to make it work, and you're going to love that place, and you're going to go there on the weekends, and you're going to love it. Of course, when all this stuff lives.
That's what I've said last couple of weeks is comic book stores who nobody likes change, right? But comic book stores who refuse to change are the ones that deserve to die, to be honest.
Right.
But I used to, the philosophy that you're talking about is a philosophy from a person that I used to work for. He used to be head of a big $1 million company, millions of dollars every year. He loved disrupting. He loved coming in and just, he called it kicking the ant hill. Because what happens, he goes, oh, have you ever kicked an anthill? Have you seen them all scurry out and they come out and they're all busy doing things? And then they rebuild that anthill, and oftentimes it's better than the anthill they had before. So he was a big fan of just coming in and intentionally
doing a big
disruption.
reset.
Yeah,
Jeez.
just going in and everybody hated it. But on the opposite side, he was kind of right, because what came out, the solutions that came out actually were better than the problem
Right.
that he created. So
Yeah, and I think that time, it needs time, and there's going to be some short-term pain and whatever, but welcome to progress. It's just there's a price to all of it, and you figure out ways around it. I remember when pagers were cool, right? Those were cool.
Were they?
Well, I don't know if they were cool. I mean, yeah, I guess so at the time, right? It's like, hey, I've got a pager on my belt where everybody can see I've got a pager.
But remember that. The thing about those was you had to pay per page, or you had a set number, and if you went over it, you paid for the more that you used or whatever.
Yes.
We got away from that. That's no longer a profit center for somebody, but they figured other stuff out, and it got bigger and more advanced. And look at our phones now and what we do with them. Hell, texting was still costing me money in 2007 or 8. Doesn't anymore. Remember long distance? There was a whole industry around long distance. Doesn't exist anymore. Not in the way it did. International roaming is about the only place that still does the long distance mess. So it's all right, man. Just got to keep working hard. You figure out the best stuff to do. You can't hold on to old stuff that's, crumbling. You grab onto the new thing that's working. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Is what I'm saying.
Yep.
Stephen, it's always, I love these discussions, even though, none of us like this pandemic, but it's an interesting back and forth on what's happening in that industry in particular, and then kind of how it feeds out into others. Always good to
I'm
have
sure
you here.
next week will be even more discussion on this.
Right. Yeah, it seems like, again, every week there's some explosive new change or, thing to consider. But in the meantime, where can people find more great content from Stephen Schleicher?
Well, if people do want to see previews, if they do want to get reviews, if they do want to listen to commentary about the comic book industry and comic books in general, head over to majorspoilers.com.
Yeah, it's a great place to be, and there's great shows. And if you like D&D, for example, you should head on over there and check out Critical Hit. Yep. I almost said roll, but only because only because it's those guys, man. They in a more litigious world, you would have sued them, but not Steven.
Maybe. I wouldn't. No.
Not Steven. He's a nice guy.
You can't sue for your titles cannot be copyright.
Right.
Copywritten, copyrighted.
Hey, we learned that with TMS, the awesome YouTube show. Remember that with Aaron and what were their names?
Oh yeah, Todd and Aaron.
Yes. I think they're
What are they now? They've got
nothing.
Gebhardt. They've got Gebhardt.
I'm gonna see if that's actually still happening real quick. Yeah,
I think they were. No, have they totally stopped? Yeah.
They now call it the Todd and Aaron Daily Stream. So
the Daily Stream.
The Daily Stream. It still works. All right. Hey, there, Stephen. Have a fantastic week. And do you have any final advice for us here before we go?
Stay hydrated and wash your hands.
That's a great idea. These are two good things. So we'll see you
use
later.
the water to drink and then wash your hands with it afterwards.
That's what I say. That's what I always say.
That order.
Oh, is that the order? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've been doing it wrong.
Don't drink the gray water.
No. Never drink the gray water. Okay, we're gonna we're gonna Daryl it up now.
Let's Daryl it up.
Yep. He's on his way in, and I'm adding him now. Oh yeah, we always have problems with him. Let's see how he answers this one. It just occurred to me. Daryl, are you there?
Always have problems with him.
Daryl, hello?
I'm a problem child.
Oh no, you sound good now.
Totally sound good.
Yeah, no echoes or anything weird. We're good. How does that make you feel?
Well, what do we do now?
I don't know.
This segment's gonna be like 8 minutes shorter.
Yeah, what the heck? All right, we'll play this then.
Hello, and welcome to Star Trek Adventure.
It's kind of fruity, isn't it?
It sure is. Daryl's here to talk about the world of Star Trek in it. We are in between series at the moment, but there's always a little something to talk about. For example, Daryl, not a lot happening, but Robert Duncan McNeil, who played Nick Locomo on TNG's The First Duty, and
You're putting your R and your N together.
Oh, did I? Oops.
Locarno,
sorry. Oh, it looks like a M. He was also Tom Paris on Voyager, is now on Twitter, and he's new. So is he saying dumb things like, here's my first tweet?
That's always how it starts.
You'd think he'd been here for a while. He's not being. Well, he did do that.
Yeah, of course he did.
I mean, he did do the first tweet thing, but.
Well, I'm taking a look here. He's at 18.9 thousand followers already. His tweets include. Some people keep telling me about that I look a lot like that horrible Starfleet Academy student, Lick Locarno, on Lies from Tom Paris. Yeah, he's a hoot. Well, that's good. Another Star Trek follow. Everybody get in there and get his business going, I guess. Oh, he's old.
And if they made a movie, he could play Scott Johnson.
Yeah. He's all beardy and stuff. He looks like us.
Really? Yeah, that's what everybody looks like. They have the SNL thing Saturday night with everybody recording from their homes, and everybody, all the men, have beards.
Yeah, no kidding. What's
shave?
He's on that new show I want to watch, that sci-fi thing. What's that called? Resident Alien with Alan Tudyk. Have you seen the previews for this?
I have not.
He's he's an alien, but I don't know what the deal is. I guess it looks comedic, but also kind of X-Files-y. It looks great. And Andy Tudyk plays Alan, I keep saying Andy. Alan Tudyk plays an alien in disguise or something like that. Anyway. Well, that's good stuff. Well, thanks, Daryl, for letting us know about that. Also, what else? Oh, also new to Twitter. Who are these people? Cirroc Lofton, Jake Sisko. He's in there.
Kirk Lofton.
Kirk, not Cirroc.
Kirk. Cirroc sounds like his character, like a character name from Star Trek. Not his, but somebody's.
All right, hold on. I gotta go follow this guy. I love that we're doing like, hey, people from Star Trek are joining Twitter. You should go follow these people.
I know, it's like it's new or something.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
He's got 5,000 followers so far. He's posted a lot of DS9 stuff. And he started by saying, hey, Twitter. So there you go. Good stuff. Mm-hmm. And now, finally, Wilson Cruz. No, just kidding. Tell me about this Discovery news. What's happening in Discovery?
Just kidding. You're not kidding. It is Wilson Cruz.
Oh.
He's the actor who plays Dr. Hugh Culber on Discovery. And he says that the Doctor will be a better Doctor, his character, in Season 3 because he has died and come back to life.
Wait a minute. He's the one that died in Season 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that was in My So-Called Life. Remember that show, Brian?
I never saw it, but I'm aware of it. Yes.
It's got your Homeland lady in it.
Yeah. How far back are you in Discovery?
I have not seen all of Season 2.
Okay.
So
you should see all of Season 2.
I know he talks to what's his name sometimes, just talking to him. Let me guess. He's reborn out of that weird mushroom thing they're working on.
You'll just have the spores. You'll just have to watch.
Okay. I'm willing to bet that's got something to do with it. All right. No, I like him. He's a cool actor. That guy's cool. Yes, Daryl? What were we going to say?
Discovery's good, too.
Yeah, Discovery is good. When do we get the Season 3 of that? How long does that take?
I think the end of this year is the plan.
Because there's still... The guy doing the music is still scoring it from his from Logic.
Yes.
His Logic space. Yeah.
His home Logic space. His home Logic studio.
Is that all they're waiting for? They're done once he's done?
No, they're doing the effects too.
Oh.
The CGI stuff.
Okay. Well, they need to get on it
All
because
going on at once.
I would like that not to be too long between things. It'd be nice to,
that's why they've got other stuff in development too.
And the only Picard stuff we're getting right now is him sitting at home reading sonnets out of a book. Have you been following those? Been watching those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched a few of those.
Yeah, it's very Shakespearean, very hoity-toity, sort of sitting there with his legs crossed, reading stuff out of a book. Like, I don't know. The kids are going to be...
If you're watching that and people see you, the best thing to do is just go, yes, no.
Oh, that was very good. I liked your hoity-toity. It was good. Well, all right then. That's really all the news that we have. That's it. That's what's going on in Star Trek.
Yeah.
We also do a Star Trek Connection every film sack, and Terrell's always sending us those. Those work out really well. My favorites though is when you send us a list and it's like 10 people, but it misses the one person who is like prominently in Star Trek. Why does your machine do that sometimes? What's that about?
I don't know.
Isn't that weird?
Or maybe you guys are wrong.
No, like there'll be an actor like I don't know, can't think of one. Like Michael Dorn will be in a thing.
Yeah.
Like literally Worf is in a movie, and you'll send us a list of like 5 other people that are in the crew or did stunts or whatever.
Yeah.
But no Michael Dorn on your list. It's weird.
I don't know.
I'm not blaming you. I think it's your weird machine.
Yeah, I need to kick it, or I don't know.
Yeah, hit it like the Fonz.
And I'm fixing it by welding on it.
There you go. That sounds great to me. All right, Daryl. It's been lovely to have a discussion with you. We hope you're doing well. Are you doing well? You staying nice and isolated and all that?
Yep, I don't go anywhere except the store.
Yeah, and when you go to the store, let's get some more data, Brian. When you go to the store, do you wear the mask?
Please tell me you've got like a Star Trek mask that you wear at the store.
Well, I have ordered 2 masks.
Mhm.
One is a solar system type. It's black with stars and planets and stuff on it.
Yeah.
And then the other one is a Doctor Who Dalek
mask. Oh, so are you going to... Don't yell exterminate, though, in the store.
Exterminate the virus, exterminate.
Yeah. You don't want to be over by the produce going, exterminate! That'd be bad. Don't do
Tina
that.
made me a really cool one from an old Doctor Strange t-shirt that's got one of his, his rune.
His
circular.
runes? Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like basically around the front of it.
Oh, that's cool.
Did you see that video of a Dalek going up the street somewhere in England?
Yes,
saying,
yelling at people who are leaving their houses.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Was it a remote, like, robot-y thing? Or was that a dude in a suit? Or a guy in a...
Well, it looked like a life-size thing.
Huh, interesting.
So it probably was a dude it was probably a dude inside it, right?
Yeah, probably.
It wasn't drone controlled or something.
That would be cool. There'd be nothing wrong with that. Hey, I wonder if anyone's made a Goatsy mask. Think that's happened?
Like
Yeah.
Like what it's like. It's really just a bum hole on the front of the mask.
Yeah, just a bum hole. You know,
I don't want to search to find out if somebody's made that.
No, but I'll bet you they have. It's the internet. I may
Ugh.
do a quick thing here.
God, I would social distance with that person forever.
Mask.
Even after life returns to normal. Nope, I'm still social distancing that guy.
I'm looking real quick just to see. Oh yeah, someone has. Okay, well there you go then. Of
course. Jeez.
Nothing new under the sun.
Thank you for looking for all of us.
You're welcome. I did the hard work for all of us.
Yes, exactly. So we don't have to.
All right, that's gonna do it. Daryl Skeels is the Trek Nerd. You can find him on Twitter at that name, the Trek Nerd, and you can follow him there and argue with him about Star Trek. It's fun. It's fun to do. I recommend it. Daryl, have a fantastic day. Any final words?
You have a good day too.
Oh.
Drink lots of coffee.
Oh, there was no gaga on there.
No ga ga ga.
I don't know what to think of that.
He's got a certain set of skills, and he didn't use them today.
All right, I have a mashup to play from Jamie. It's a Monday mashup.
Yay!
It's called Chin Skin. Ugh.
Oh, jeez.
Yep, don't know what that is, but here it is. I thought, it'll be interesting. What is this?
Sharon!
I like to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
I like to eat.
I like to eat. I like to eat. I like to eat. Eat. I like to food too.
I like to
eat.
All right. There have been 0 days since the last MMRF. I said it right the first time. Let's try that again. I long for dick.
Ray Romano.
Oh.
Hey, I'm telling jokes here. Hey.
There have been 0 days since the last Shit!
But on the last stretch, there's a juice stop, or it's called Into Juice, that's on the way home.
I thought you said juice stop.
A juice stop, yes.
Yeah.
I pull over, they go, hey, you should know from bicycle problems.
What is his pink counterpart?
Oh, that's
What's
his
her name?
sister.
Is it Blithers?
Blithers or Blowhard or something like that. Some other Blither name. Blagina? It's not Blagina.
Right.
Blathgina. There.
Can you put your finger inside your little slot?
Yeah, I put my finger in and out of my slot all the time. The boy picked up a sword and then jammed it into the hole. Zibba dibba doo bob. I gotta have it at least once a week or I'm not happy.
40% of my campaign is going to be out. I'm going to take the other 60%, give it to the billionaires, and the 40% of the 60% is going to go to the people.
Yeah, that sounds right. Quieter vibrations are observed by Thomas Lecoq. Lecoq.
Lecoq.
Lecoq.
Thomas Lecoq.
That's French for the cock.
He had some weird nose balls. I don't know if you saw it, but like the tip of his nose had a really pronounced clef.
Nose balls is not what I thought of when I saw it, but now I can't stop thinking about nose balls.
I'm going to put this one. It's a beta test, but I'm going to change the name if it works out.
That's right. Here, I have a note, but it's in my chin skin. Can you pull it out? Okay.
It's terrible.
It's a Post-it.
I dropped a Post-it in my third chin. Oh, man. All right. Once again, don't remember 90% of that. So.
No, it was like a week ago, and I don't remember half the stuff. Why we said some of that stuff.
I remember the MMFR. MMFR. Yeah, that's right. Mad Max Fury Road.
Now you're going to second guess it every single time.
Why does that sound wrong?
It.
You know what it is? It's ASMR and MMFR. I just screw them up, even though MMFR is my ASMR. Anyway.
Right.
Got an email from Cortland who wrote in, says, sad, happy. Hey, Scott, Brian. My roommate and I have been dealing with a lot of stuff lately, not just the virus stuff, but friends fighting, divorces, all that stuff. I just need to let you know. I asked Siri, hey, Siri, could you please weep for humanity? Then the morning stream started playing, and my roommate could not stop laughing. Well, good. Also, I set my phone off just then. Let's put that over there. That's great. I don't know why we would have started playing, though. That's very weird.
Yeah, it didn't sound anything like one does not sound anything like the other. But I like the fact that we're what your Echo thinks is the weeping for humanity.
That makes me very happy to hear that. And I also want to give a quick shout out to Dean. He's the handsome older brother on Supernatural. Just kidding. Dean sent me these awesome metal dice. I don't know if they're pewter or what these are, but they are my new perfect dice set. Oh, shit.
Well, they're almost perfect now. One
dropped a D6. But like this, let me hold up the D20. This D20, oh, that's Brian's camera.
That is so cool.
Yeah, isn't that cool? These are really nice.
That is really cool.
Nice, heavy, metallic dice. I got the full set, so I can play D&D with these things, and I love them, and I just wanted him to know that. So giant thanks to Dean. They just came out of nowhere, and it was really sweet of him to send those.
Very cool.
So thank you, Dean. Oh, and the case was given to me by John Jagger, who's part of our D&D team. It's made out of actual wormwood. Wormwood.
With a phoenix feather tucked inside?
No. But you can see the little wormholes from where the worms go, which is why they call it wormwood. Right?
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know wormwood really has worms.
Yep. And the place is called...
Worms, Roxanne. I had worms.
And it's magnet, like it shuts magnetized. It's very nice. It's nice.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect case for some sweet metal dice.
That's right.
I think Dean is the guy who sent me these dice, right? The weird Funhouse mirror warped looking ones.
Oh, right. Those are so cool.
I think so. Yeah.
Is that where they came from? Was Dean?
I think Dean sent these to me, and I'm hoping I'm not confusing two different people, because
I was just gonna search
I thanked him when they arrived on the show, and I don't have the letter near me anymore to.
It might have been him. I need to get my hands on some of those too. Those are so rad.
They're really cool.
All right.
Not street legal.
Yeah, no, they don't. They're not going to let you throw those in a craps game in Vegas. I don't think.
Definitely will not. No.
We're supported by you and your contributions at patreon.com/TMS. We really, really appreciate it in these weird times. It's keeping us afloat so that we can keep your ears afloat. That, again, is patreon.com/TMS. Everything else you might need from us, you can find over at frogpants.com/TMS. That's a / just in case you're confused. That's it. We're done. Let's get out, but with music. Let's do music.
Yeah, this is great. And this is a big thank you goes out to this person. Kelly wrote in and said, hello, I have really enjoyed being able to be a part of the Tadpool while working from home during all of this, something I normally very rarely get to enjoy. On Monday, I'm traveling to New York City for work as part of the team doing decontamination of N95 face masks for the hospitals in that area so that they can reuse them and cut down on the shortage. I'll be there for 2 to 3 weeks and working long hours, so I'll have to go back to keeping up with TMS via podcast. I would love to hear some positive vibes from a song of Brian's choice to give me something fun to listen to while I'm stuck in a hotel room in a strange city. Thanks for being a bright light in all this chaos.